at a social gathering or wherever, वो अपना नाम पहले बाद में बताते हैं, वो ढिंडोरा पहले पीट देता है, मैं डाइट पे हूँ, मैं कीटो पे हूँ, मैं फास्टिंग कर रहा हूँ, मैं ये कर रहा हूँ. So you put so much pressure on your own head by giving names to any particular diet that so I mean if you fail or if you just cheat, then you're like your friends will say तू तो बड़ा फास्टिंग कर रहा था, तू बहुत कीटो कर रहा था, क्या हुआ?
So सबके Instagram bio में लिखा हुआ है love to travel, but somehow they are the people who love to like go on a vacation.
There is strange thing in Himachal, you know. आप कहीं भी ट्रैक करने जाओगे, even if you are a solo traveler, you will not be alone. From somewhere, a dog will appear and he will take you to the end.
Oh.
I have experienced this on all my treks.
Monkey is so close to being human. मतलब एक step और human. कितना close हूँ मैं human बनने के. अरे human का next step divine. अगला step भगवान है मेरा. और somehow.
If there's one thing I know for sure, it's that I know nothing.
Today we have very interesting people from the fitness industry. Welcoming Rupal Vadera and Vineet Huria. So, let me give some context to the viewers. How do I know you? Rupal and I used to live in the same neighborhood, and through Rupal, I came in touch with Vineet sir. Like me, as a third person perspective, like I knew that I like own the studio and as Fit Republic, मैंने Instagram पे follow किया पहले और फिर और थोड़ा explore किया और फिर देखा कि अच्छा your gym was मतलब your studio was one of a kind ऐसा देख के लगा क्योंकि जो crossfit training का जो concept है वो हमारे commercial हमारे जो area gym जो commercial gyms है वहाँ पे इतना नहीं है और this I think this was one of a kind of studio और फिर उसके बाद Instagram पे मैंने देखा और the post was very different from the commercial and the basic gym videos and the gym post और बहुत सारी बड़ी franchise थी gyms की जो open हुई थी. This was something very personalized studio kind of thing. So let's give people some context that how did you like got into this fitness thing and how did the idea of opening your own studio like popped up?
See, since the very beginning, I was into some or the other physical activity. So, be it sports, I used to play badminton at the national level till school. As soon as I entered college, like any other guy, I wanted to have a good physique. I think that's one of the reasons why people start the gym in the first place. So that's how I started training. Gyms in India, if you notice, very few people who are from a very educated background decide to enter this field. Most of the trainers, wherever you go to any gym, you will find that they are not certified. Most of them are not. वो खुद को शौक होता है ट्रेनिंग करने का and then they decide to open a studio or a gym and they start training others. खुद को शौक होना एक अलग चीज़ होती है और कोचिंग कराना is a very different ball game. With me, I was always interested in teaching. I did my other business for 10 years. It was a transportation company. I actually have, again, not many people know about this. I have 2 masters in finance. I did my MBA finance. I did my MS finance. I was actually in US back in 2008. I came back in 2010. Did the family business like most of the people from Indian business families do. I did that for 10 years, but somewhere I just felt that that wasn't my true calling. And I think everyone has a true calling, like a purpose for which God sent them. And I think for me it was coaching, and I think I'm very passionate about. So yeah, I mean, I decided to, so opening a studio was never a plan. I just wanted to learn for myself. I started in 2017 with, I think I did a course in, a basic course in personal training. After that, I decided to do a course in nutrition. I just wanted to know about nutrition science because I was just intrigued by the way what we been taught since the beginning, how it was all wrong.
Right.
and how fitness science is exactly opposite of what we've learned so far. And then I went to US. I did a course in CrossFit. I did a course in TRX, kettlebells, etc. And I decided that why not introduce all these things to the city.
Right.
And that's how the idea of making a studio or opening a studio came into existence. Yeah.
Like the initial 10 years, you were into the family business.
Correct.
And then the calling was not right. Like you felt like this is not for you.
Absolutely.
Like how, like where did you find the confidence to like take a break from the family business thing and do your own thing? Like it takes like guts to be like take a decision at a certain age, like in your early 30s, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I was going through a rough patch in my personal life as well. So a lot of things actually came together, which kind of pushed me to follow my dreams. During that period, I was in that state where I had two options: either to just feel sorry and sad about myself, or maybe feel that, or maybe another way of looking at it was that God has given me time to maybe follow my dreams and for once do what I really wanted to do.
Okay.
And at that time I think I was 32 when I decided to switch careers, and I was thinking that I want to pursue fitness and I wanted to maybe one day open a studio and learn. And I remember I got very mixed reviews. Though my family was supportive, but a lot of other people like your friends, and they kind of were against the idea, because at that time, sadly, this work was still looked down upon. I always keep telling to people that professionals, especially in the service industry, are not given due respect. So, for example, a fitness coach or fitness trainer is still called a gym wala bhaiya, or a makeup artist is still called a parlor wali.
Right.
So, I think coaches and trainers still needs the respect. And back that time, right now things have improved a lot. It still is considered as a viable career option. Back then it was not. It was still considered as something which people from not good families do or not educated people do. And I just wanted to change that mindset. And I hope I kind of did something to change that mindset a little bit.
Broke the stereotype, and usually people in their early 30s don't really go for like switching the career or don't take such type of risk, because security is the only thing people are like finding in life. Maybe like I'm into a family business. If I were in my early 30s, I wouldn't think of changing careers and taking this amount of risk and not getting enough support. Like family supported, but the other people, and it's like hard to imagine like taking such a big step in early 30s and then somehow making it money viable, like we had the
I think
earlier.
there are actually a couple of things to it. So first of all, most of the people who are working out there, they don't even know what their true calling is, and they haven't yet figured out what they really want to do in life, and they live their entire life without even knowing what they really wanted to do.
Right.
And I think I've been lucky and grateful to God that I could at least figure out what I wanted to do in life and what made me genuinely happy. And another thing, even if you figure out, like even suppose someone's figured out what they want to do, but at times situations are such or responsibilities are such that even if you know what you want to do, but somehow you can't really pursue that.
Yeah.
It's not a, so I am grateful to God again that first He made it possible for me to realize what I want to do. Second, to make it financially viable for me, to make a living out of it.
Right.
So I think I feel blessed every day that I'm actually getting to work and make money out of something which I absolutely love, and there would be nothing else in this world that I would want to do except to help people get fitter and healthier.
Right. Absolutely. Coming to Rupal, we have a very old story. We used to be like friends. Like we used to live in the same neighborhood, and like I have seen you like transform into a different human being. Because I don't think you were into fitness back then when we used to like live in the same neighborhood. But somehow like we were like connected on social media. We used to like even connected on social media, and then somehow I saw your posts about traveling, and then you got into some fitness thing. And throw some light, like how did you end up in this line, like
In this
into
line.
fitness and traveling?
Okay, so I was into fitness in my childhood. I
Right.
used to play judo. I am a black belt. But due to some injuries and family issues, I could not participate in national or international competitions because they did not allow me to travel back then.
Right.
Okay, so I had to quit. Now, when I quit, I had no motivation to continue or fight because I was too young to fight. So I stopped all the sports altogether. I just got into studies. I used to do Kathak for namesake, and then I passed school. I picked up graduation. I did continue with my traveling. I fought a bit for traveling. I took a lot of trips with my friends, with my school friends. That's when I knew that I had a thing for knowing other cultures and other people,
Right.
knowing new people, making new friends, visiting new places. So that's what I found out when I was in school. And then after I finished my post-graduation, I moved to a new city and I started my corporate job. In the first year, I gained 10 kgs. And I remember I was drinking with a few friends and they just gave me a challenge. Can you do a push-up? I said, yeah, I can do it. I thought my fitness is still the same, like it was in school.
Right.
I tried doing a push-up and I could not do it.
Just one
So
push-up.
just one push-up. That was my alarm. Oh fuck, I have to do something. And that's when I got into the fitness industry. Of course, it was very hard for me, being that unfit at that time, to even begin with.
Yeah, right.
People in the gym are usually fit. You know, when a fat person walks into the gym, that person is very conscious. How are people going to look at you? You are not able to do half of the things. And how are people going to judge you? Judgment is a very popular notion these
Easier
days.
said
And
than
people
done.
are scared of it.
Right.
I was too.
Yeah, right.
And I had seen a lot of eyes looking at me when I couldn't even do a box jump. So that was a challenge, but then only when you live the uncomfortable, you come out to your fullest potential.
Right.
So I continued, I was consistent. I have a sweet tooth, so I could never quit desserts.
Right. Like,
Never. You will always find me at the cake counter. Still. Vineet keeps taunting me about it.
He's in his head right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna answer that.
Wait for it.
But okay, so nutrition, I understand nutrition. I know how important it is to follow the right nutrition, but somehow in my life, I created a balance between fitness and whatever I eat and my work and travel. So I want to live many lives in this one life.
Right, absolutely.
There was this opportunity, and there are a lot of opportunities for me to get into a business which is related to the fitness industry.
Right.
But the reason that I do not get into any business for that matter is I do not want to stick to a place, or I do not want to stick to that one particular thing. I want to keep exploring.
Right. Don't want to like get into a bubble.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if after 5 years I change my mind, I want to switch.
Right. The amount of freedom you have in your head
Yes.
is very important. Right. And like you said that you wanted to lose weight, and you were like, chalo, weight lose karte hain, and let's get fit. And then comes the consistency part. Like, it's not
Yes.
easy. Like, it is easier said than done.
So
And like, how about like
Just
how did
like-
consistency get
just
in?
like I said, there were eyes at me who were pointing out that, oh, she cannot jump. Then there were eyes at me, wow,
She goes.
she's so good.
Right.
And it still happens. That motivates me. Wow, she's still so good.
I think
So-
one thing I would like to add when she said that, how when people start, when fat people go to the gym or they want to lose weight, they're always self-conscious, and they don't know. They think how people are looking at them, and they have like low self-esteem issues. But
Right.
I really want to tell one thing here, that all those people need to understand. I mean, especially in India, what happens if you're fat? It's considered a character flaw. It means that the blame is on you. It's your mistake that you're fat. So they will say, तुम खाते बहुत हो और तुम बहुत आलसी हो. इसलिए तुम मोटे हो, तो आपकी हालत की जवाबदारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आप ही की है. But they fail to understand that this is not a character problem, this is not a caloric problem, this is a hormonal problem that needs to be addressed.
Right.
So if that person is fat, it is not their fault completely. So one thing that I would like to make clear to every person out there, so that being fat, first of all, is not a character flaw. It is not your mistake. You can take steps to correct it. Just eat right, start training, find a good mentor who can help you gain that confidence. And I think that's what I've learned, and that's what I wanted to add on what she said, that I understand that problem, because being fat is one thing, and it also leads to a lot of mental health issues which I've seen in my clients, that they have anxiety, they have sleep disorders, they have depression. One person came to me, I think he is 6'3", 6'4", and he is way over 140 kgs, he's huge, and he was so anxious and he has so much social anxiety that if in an elevator there are two people, he won't enter. He would be like, वो मेरे वाला बात कर रहा है या वो मेरे को घूर रहा है. I mean, that guy, he was intimidating. Like if you look at him, you'll be overwhelmed with his appearance. But he was anxious, and in a group setting he wouldn't speak. He was that shy. So another female came to me. She was very, very big, and she came to me, and the only thing she asked, that which batch is empty. She didn't ask me my fees. She didn't ask me what time. The only criteria was कौन सी batch खाली है, मुझे उसमें आना है. Because she was that ashamed of going out, and I think this is something which needs to be talked about, which needs to be addressed. And I want to tell families and friends not to blame them for being fat, because they know it. You don't have to tell them every single time, every single instant कि कम खाओ, ये मत करो.
They're already in battle with themselves.
And also, I think people need to understand they need to reduce weight. The number one reason should be to lead a healthier life.
Right.
A lot of times, especially for females, I've seen that parents go about saying, "इसकी शादी करनी है, तो weight कम कराना है."
This is the norm.
And I find it very disgusting, honestly, because to be an object of someone's love shouldn't be a reason to lose weight. The main reason should be to lead a healthier life, and I think that is something which needs to be spelled out.
Right. Like our generation is, I think there is too much information. Firstly, in the earlier times there was lack of education, so somehow that was excusable. Ki हाँ, ठीक है. There's lack of education, and then there is judgment, and then there are the Indian norms. Right now, I don't think there are much excuses. There is too much information on the internet, and we don't have such excuses, and they shouldn't be blamed completely, like you said. But yeah, this needs to be changed, and some amount of change should be from.
I think even coming to that, I think a lot of information doesn't mean is doing us any good.
Right.
Most of the information is false out there, and I think social media is just creating a false impression or a false image of being healthier, of being fitter, which is unattainable naturally.
Being fit and viewing the
you are just setting unrealistic goals for yourself. Like I said, for me, main reason to train is health and longevity. As long as I'm alive, I just want to be functional. I want to do the things on my own. I don't want when I grow old, 3 लोग मुझे उठा के बाथरूम ले जाएं, मैं सामान उठा नहीं पाऊँ, मेरे को 2 लोग हमेशा सपोर्ट दें. I don't want that. I want सारे काम मैं खुद कर पाऊँ. That is my end goal to train, and I think that's what I keep telling people, that weight is not the only criteria to judge if you're healthy.
Right.
You need to consider other aspects as well. How about mental health?
Right.
So मैंने 10 किलो लूज कर भी लिया, और उसके बाद अगर suppose my hair starts falling or my skin becomes pale, I am low on energy, or I feel depressed, जीवन से सब सुख ही खत्म हो गया है, तो क्या करूँगा 10 किलो लूज करके?
Right. Like even if you lose 10 kgs, you won't be like mentally satisfied. And the mental peace is still like I heard somewhere like on the previous episode, one of my guests like said that work out for the mind and eat for the body. Like usually people eat for the mind, like for the tongue, and then work out for the body. Like this needs to be also changed in the perspective. This is a new fresh perspective. Like work out for the mind and like eat for the body.
You can indulge once in a while, but not always.
Right.
The problem with generation is
Moderation.
they are so feast and fast goes hand in hand. You can't always be in feasting mode.
Right.
The problem is that we're just eating too much processed food, which is very readily available, and that's the only issue that people are like. I think is the root cause for people gaining weight or living an unhealthy life. You need to have some kind of control on. I mean, I just read a very good quote a few days back. It said that if it's cheap, why do you have to eat it? Like, will you put kerosene oil or cheap oil in your car? Will you? No.
Right.
So why would you put cheap food or cheap oils in your body?
Like food should be viewed as fuel for the body. Right?
Absolutely.
It's basically people eat for the tongue. Somehow they should be eating for the stomach.
Like people are very particular about कौन सा फेस वॉश यूज कर रहे हैं, कौन सा फेशियल क्रीम यूज कर रहे हैं, कौन सा कपड़ा पहन रहे हैं, कौन सा शूज पहन रहे हैं, but when it comes to putting something inside you, they don't care.
Right.
We were talking the other day, हर कोई YOLO mode में.
Right.
They drink like there's no tomorrow without any consequences, and they don't just realize the body degrades so fast. Like they age so quickly. I've had youngsters in their 20s who have liver damage happening. There was one guy who had no idea. We got the test done and we found out he was diabetic. So one guy came, I think 27-year-old. He was a Sardar, big strong guy. We got the test done. The testosterone levels were low. So these are things which people don't realize, especially this generation. I think they just are in that mode of enjoying life like there is no tomorrow.
Yeah, right. I think the Indian culture used to be rich and is very much rich about the whole cultural thing about the food and all. Like our spices are very famous in the US and the Western culture, but somehow we are totally influenced by the Western culture and we are somehow trying to copy that lifestyle and that easily available food, ready to eat. Like
I mean, if you
instant.
look at our grandparents,
Right.
you would hardly see any instances of any major disease happening to them. They've always eaten
Natural.
good food, home cooked food, with ghar ka ghee. They never used to snack.
Right.
We all the time we are snacking. We don't realize it. So I always tell people that just take a pen and paper and whenever you eat something, write it down. And you'll be shocked the amount of things you eat throughout the day. You're just eating, munching throughout the day. Our grandparents and great grandparents never used to do that.
Right.
And there's a very nice study I was reading. It said that whatever I'm eating today, of course it's going to hamper my health, but it is also going to destroy health of your offspring who are going to come later on. So you are kind of destroying the health of the generations
future
coming
generation.
after you.
Absolutely. But we don't like usually think that way. We are very human centric and selfish and whatnot like.
No, we are not okay. So again, I don't believe in it.
Right.
Who doesn't want to be healthy?
Right.
कौन ऐसा है जो बोलेगा मुझे बीमार होना है? But problem ये है कि we don't want to put efforts into that. We don't want to change our lifestyle into that. I think I blame to a certain extent the medical community as well as the people for being very carefree when it comes to their own well-being and health.
Like I think I would like to put light on you chose to get fitter. Like somehow you can work out the gym. मेरे को लगता है gym ठीक है, gym जाना किसने सोच लिया, gym जाना शुरू कर दिया, workout शुरू हो गया, अच्छा mentor मिल गया. Then comes food. कि how do you manage these? कोई अच्छा workout कर पाता है या किसी की अच्छी diet होती है. Both should go hand in hand, but दोनों एक साथ manage नहीं हो पाता. Most of the people do workout at their best and then can't even eat right. बोलते हैं ना कि 70% diet, 30% gym, जो भी ratio अब वो जो culture बन गया है, पर somehow एक चीज में आदमी फेल हो जाता है. या तो ढंग से डाइट नहीं ले पाता है, ढंग से वर्कआउट नहीं कर पाता है. ये हैंड इन हैंड जाना चाहिए पर वो जा नहीं पाते हैं.
प्रॉब्लम ये है इसके अंदर गौरव दैट लोगों को नॉलेज नहीं है जो करा रहे हैं आपको. अब जिस ट्रेनर से मैं बात करता था, अभी भी आप जाओगे कोई भी जिम में उनका ब्रो साइंस अलग ही चल रहा है. There is no logic to. They won't even tell you how to breathe when you're training, how to do a proper deadlift, how to set a bar, how to embrace your core, how to retract, how to prepare yourself. They'll teach you nothing. And most of the times, these so-called gym trainers are giving shortcuts to clients.
Right.
They will hook them to anabolics for quicker results. And also, I blame the person as well who are ready to take those anabolics. I mean, I'll tell you this very funny incident. So, when there was no studio, and I was just starting my career into fitness, and I was learning things, and I used to go to the studio and this gym, sorry, and उनके changing room में ना हर gym में I think जो लोग देख रहे हैं इसको वो लोग agree करेंगे यहाँ पे कि वो जिस भी gym में जाते हैं ना वहाँ एक कमरा होता है changing room में लड़कों का, and trainer उसमें वहाँ लेके जाता है उनको, they'll put an injection or whatever steroid in. And so I went to that changing room once, and वहाँ पे एक दिन ना उसे जिम वाले ने एक पेपर पे लिख के प्रिंट आउट टूटी फूटी इंग्लिश में लिखा हुआ था कि we don't promote use of steroids, so please don't use the steroids.
Right.
2-3 दिन वो लगा रहा, 3-4 दिन बाद ना वो पेपर हट गया और वहाँ दूसरा पेपर लगा हुआ था. वहाँ लिखा हुआ था कि अगर आप स्टेरॉइड्स ले रहे हैं तो एटलीस्ट अपने सिरिंज साथ में लेके जाओ वापस, बिकॉज़ पीपल वर लीविंग द सिरिंजेस
For real?
राइट. यस, लाइक इट वाज सो प्रेवलेंट कि तुम अब ले तो रही हो तो तुम सिरिंजेस लेके जाओ. बट अगेन पीपल डोंट रियलाइज द लॉन्ग टर्म इफेक्ट्स ऑफ दैट टेकिंग दोस हार्मोन्स, यू नो. एंड आई थिंक जो आप बोल रहे हो पॉइंट इज दैट लोगों को नॉलेज नहीं है.
नहीं.
क्योंकि लोगों को कि हम एग्जांपल आप लोगों को बोलता हूं जब सर्जरी कराने जाते हो यू विल गो टू अ सर्टिफाइड सर्जन, राइट, एक्सपर्ट. बट कभी आपने ट्रेनर से पूछा है आपके कि आपने कहाँ से सीखा है, आपके सर्टिफिकेट्स क्या हैं, आपने कभी उससे नहीं पूछते हो आप, क्योंकि ये चला ही आ रहा है, आप उनको मानते जैसा वो बोलता है आप मान जाते हो. तो दोनों का गलती है. आई थिंक पढ़ाने वाला कराने वाला भी इज नॉट.
I read this somewhere. Sorry to interrupt. मैंने ये पढ़ा था कि there are no bad students, only bad teachers. तो
There are both.
There are both.
I blame teachers more simply because as a layman, as a student, I don't know. That's what I'm coming you for. एक teacher और एक coach और एक student का relationship is very, how would I say, it's a very close relation. Like it's something which is how do I don't know, like अलग ही level का एक reverence होता है towards your coach. I mean, I remember when I used to train under my coach, I used to like really look up to that person, like, you know, and I think that is the responsibility of the coach to do justice to the job. When it comes to teaching, when it comes to nutrition, you know, like just don't, if somebody is trusting you with their health,
the amount of trust the student puts into the teacher.
And the same thing I want to tell to the students, that at least you have access to so much information, at least kind of educate yourself in what you're putting inside you, and don't look for shortcuts when it comes to your own health. Look for the longer term goal, and long term goal is to, like I said, remain disease free for as long as you can, longevity, and try and live a more functional life till the time you're alive. That should be the end game.
But I don't think people even think about a long term.
No,
they just think about कि मेरे को ऐसा दिखना
quick
है.
result चाहिए हमको before after pose. मेरे को भी डालना है.
मेरे को ऐसा दिखना है बस.
Before after pose मेरे को मेरी प्रोफाइल पे चाहिए.
जिम में whichever trainer is looking the best, you train me. अंदर क्या हो रहा है नहीं पता. Ask that trainer to run for 5 kilometers, he will not be able to.
लेकिन तो फूड आपने कैसे डिकोड किया? मतलब मेरे को लगता है ठीक है, जिम आपने जाना शुरू कर दिया, अच्छा जिम मिल गया, अच्छा वर्कआउट मिल गया.
Food was actually very hard for me because I was in a corporate job and I used to work 8 to 9 hours a day. But then eventually I figured out that if I have to do this, I have to do it. I used to pack my dabbas before I leave for work. Meal prep is not hard. Meal prep is not hard. People think meal prep is very hard, but it is not.
It looks hard and it is somehow being considered very much effort putting. मतलब पता नहीं यार, मतलब अंदर से इच्छा है तो effortless हो जाए, पर अगर करना चाहो पता नहीं.
Actually, you can prepare food for 2-3 days and use it. And then, of course, you can take out 1.5 hour in 3 days. Nobody lives without entertainment. People have time to go out. People have time to go out and eat. People have time to have alcohol.
It all comes down to one thing in the end: how bad you want something.
Want it.
Right.
For example, I have had people who will tell me, this is the most common excuse, हम इतनी जल्दी नहीं उठ सकते सुबह. तो मैंने बोला अच्छा चलो ठीक है, कल सुबह अगर आपकी 4 बजे की फ्लाइट होगी, आप उठोगे ना?
सोएंगे
You will go for the trip.
सोएंगे ही नहीं।
जाना है उनको ट्रिप पे तो वो उठ के जाएंगे। तो it all comes down to prioritizing things in your life.
But how that do you want it? Right. वो बहुत जरूरी है। और आपने भी जैसे फूड डिकोड किया है, जैसे भी करा, मील प्रेप करना, ये सब करना, then somehow like you got the result. Results की भी बात नहीं है, पर somehow like
थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट होता है of course, but then step by step you have to be at it. ऐसा
One
नहीं
step at a
कि
time.
people क्या एक हफ्ता नहीं किया नहीं हो पाएगा हमसे, we'll give up. ऐसा नहीं. If you fail for 2-3 days, you have to get back again. Even we binge sometimes. We end up binging sometimes, but then we get back the next day. That is important.
right.
And then another problematic thing is social meetings.
हाँ.
If you are fit, okay, you believe you know what you want to eat, you have the knowledge what you want to eat, but you still want to go out with friends.
Right.
Peer pressure.
Disown कर देते हैं
How
friends को।
exactly?
इसका भी पता है, ये ना मैंने बड़ा सोचा इस बारे and I think she's a witness to it. Like whenever we go out, people always have the same jokes for me. If everyone's drinking, I'm not drinking, they're gonna go like, to the protein shake देगा?
Yeah, आप बिल्कुल नहीं पीते?
I drink very rarely. Like I think for me it's like, if I feel like it, I'll have a drink.
Right.
I don't like when people force you to do something.
It's very
so they
personal.
don't understand. मुझे नहीं पीना है तो वो मेरा decision है. You don't have to. But after a while, like she's saying, social setting में ना ये problem हो जाता है. They will go like, तू तो हवा खाएगा, हवा ये खाने से तेरा weight बढ़ जाएगा. So मैं joke से भी परेशान हो गया उनके, because it makes no sense to me. So this one guy happened to a party once and he was forcing me to drink. And I think यहाँ पे ना क्या problem है, खुद का गिल्ट है उनका।
हाँ।
वो आप पे वो थ्रो कर रहे हैं कि मैं पी के गलत कर रहा हूँ। वो कहीं ना कहीं अंदर एक कॉन्शियस है तो सही ना मेरा कि मैं इतनी दारू पी रहा हूँ, इट्स नॉट गुड, मुझे मालूम है, पर ये तो नहीं पी रहा है, इसको भी बिगाड़ो। So they find some sadistic pleasure out of forcing you to drink, which to me doesn't make sense. So this one guy at a party, he was after my life, and दोस्त नहीं पिएगा, they get very aggressive. They get very aggressive, हाथ पकड़ लेंगे, bottle. I got angry and I just told this guy, and he was a Jaini.
हाँ, okay.
अब like तू चिकन खाएगा, तू कबाब खाएगा। मैंने कहा मैं नहीं खाऊंगा। तू दोस्त नहीं मेरा, तू कबाब खाएगा। बोले मैं नहीं खाऊंगा। तो मैंने बोला देख, जैसे तेरे को चिकन नहीं अच्छा लग रहा, तेरे को नहीं खाना है, वैसे मुझे ड्रिंक नहीं करना है। I mean,
दोस्त तो नहीं समझते हैं, दोस्तों
का जो ये बोल रही है इसका पॉइंट एकदम सही है। अगर आप कुछ लाइफ में अच्छा कर रहे हो ना, सबसे पहले सैडली जो आपके सो कॉल्ड फ्रेंड्स हैं ना, वही ऑलवेज दे ट्राई टू पुल यू डाउन।
डिसोन मैंने बीच में मेरा एक फेज आया था जब मैं वीगनिज्म ट्राई करा था, क्योंकि हाँ देखा था नया ट्राई करने की इच्छा थी बहुत। और फिर उसके बाद वेजिटेरियन, लाइक आई नेवर यूज्ड टू लाइक हैव नॉनवेज, मेरी फैमिली में कोई खाता ही नहीं था। एंड देन समहाउ एट अ पार्टी लाइक माय फ्रेंड्स वर लाइक, ये नहीं खाया तूने, क्या खाया तूने? तो आई लाइक ट्राइड इट और फिर 2-3 साल खाया और फिर लाइक आई वॉच सम डॉक्यूमेंट्रीज ऑन नेटफ्लिक्स, कुछ लगा कि चलो चेंज करके देखते हैं। और थोड़ा वो प्राइड भी आता है ना कि चलो वेजिटेरियनिज्म, थोड़ा अटेंशन भी मिलता है। वीगनिज्म ट्राई किया 3 महीने के लिए, फिर उसके बाद 3-4 साल तक वेजिटेरियनिज्म पे शिफ्ट हो गया। और वो 3-4 साल आई हैड लाइक बहुत दूर चले गया अपने दोस्तों से, क्योंकि somehow I got into yoga and meditation also। फिर उसके बाद योगा एंड मेडिटेशन gave me अलग लेवल का किक, तो मेरे को अल्कोहल और ये सब की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी। नॉट दैट आई रिप्लेस्ड इट विद दैट, इतना पीता नहीं था, सैटरडे दोस्तों के साथ कुछ थोड़ा हो जाता था, पर somehow वो इतना बड़ा नशा है ना, मेडिटेशन एंड योगा एंड दिस थिंग, कि मतलब दारू और ये तो लगा कि तुम लोग तो बहुत छोटे हैं, बहुत छोटे
फॉर सेल्फ ग्रोथ।
राइट,
you get
मैं अलग ही लेवल पे प्रोसेस करता था और सेम जोक्स वो भी आते थे, लोग कहीं जाते थे, कहीं कॉल नहीं करते थे, कुछ नहीं करते थे।
It is sad कि in today's time having a good time and partying is equal to daru, is equal to drinking, and like there's no tomorrow, and the same talks, same किसी को टारगेट बना लेना और उसके मजे लेना और ये करना, there's no growth or concrete thing happening. Like I don't understand why can't just people have fun without drinking.
वो मेरे
I'm not against drinking per se.
Like, you don't even hold back yourself कि कभी इच्छा हो तो you have.
That shouldn't be the only thing that should define how good the party was or how good a time you will have. People are like drinking नहीं तो party नहीं करेंगे, नहीं आना।
Drinking क्या pre-booze नहीं है तो party नहीं, pre-booze नहीं है तो party कुछ भी नहीं है, बेकार है मतलब। हाँ तो but the feeling, मतलब मेरे को लगता है कि जिनको जो भी satisfaction मिलता है अल्कोहल या जिस भी चीज से, somehow they need to like figure out a higher नशा उससे, मेरे को लगता है। Somehow yoga and meditation gave me a much bigger cake than the alcohol and the other shit party shit gave me. So somehow it was easy for me, or I don't know, I made a very conscious choice कि हाँ मेरे से जिमिंग नहीं हो रही, मैंने 2 साल जिम की फीस वेस्ट करी है, भर के गया नहीं हूँ, 2 महीने गया हूँ. So I was like कि चलो मेरे से नहीं हो रहा. I was the fittest person, मतलब अंदर से फीलिंग रहती है. I was never lazy. I was never a lazy person. सब हमेशा फिट था और मेरे को लगता था मेरे से मेरी बॉडी नहीं बनी तो कोई नहीं बना पाएगा. मेरे को ऐसा मेरे मन में था और somehow I joined gym और फिर वही फूड ये सब हो नहीं पाया. शॉप का ऐसा रूटीन था, एक्सक्यूजेस थे, कुछ खास नहीं था. But फिर योगा came in, meditation came in, and then for the last 3-4 years, अभी थोड़ा discontinued है, but I like got into this yoga and meditation thing and I loved it. मतलब that was the best thing that happened to me. I did this course by Sadhguru Isha Foundation called Inner Engineering, in which I also learned about how to eat right, how to like take care of your body and your mind, and how this body is your biggest asset. मतलब this is like body is your temple and you like have to worship it, and like ये नहीं है तो कुछ नहीं है फिर. This like get over your body and then there are other dimensions to explore. Body side में रख के you should process. मुझे लगता है body should never be a hurdle. कि आपको कहीं बैठ रहे हो तो फिर आपको कोई अच्छी कुछ जगह ध्यान नहीं जा रहा है क्योंकि somehow कि आपको पैर दुख रहे हैं, ये दुख रहा है. Body should never be a hurdle. बॉडी का इतना पोटेंशियल है ह्यूमन बॉडी का, उसको पार करने के बाद यू शुड लाइक एक्सप्लोर अदर डिमेंशंस ऑफ लाइफ. ऐसा मैंने सीखा था योगा मेडिटेशन. आई वाज इन कोयम्बटूर फॉर लाइक 7 days और वहाँ पे भी बहुत सारे लोगों को उनकी कोई बॉडी, कोई एस्थेटिक्स, कोई लुक्स नहीं, पतले हल्के पतले लोग थे, बट द लेवल ऑफ फिटनेस, उनको बोलोगे कि पहाड़ चढ़ जाओ, लाइक आई वाज नेवर, मैंने ट्रैक, मेरे जीवन का ट्रैक वहीं पे गया था, नंगे पाँव, बेयर शर्ट, नंगे पाँव, 12 घंटे का ट्रैक था पहली बार. और मैंने मेरी प्रैक्टिस कंटिन्यू थी, तो वो प्रैक्टिस मैंने 3-4 महीने तक कंटिन्यू थी, और वो फिर मैंने 12 घंटे का ट्रैक बिना रुके, बेयर फुट, बेयर चेस्ट, वो कंप्लीट किया 12 घंटे टॉप पे, हिल पे, और फिर वहां से हिल से नीचे भी आए. तो वो वाज लाइक कि इतना केपेबल हूं क्या मैं, इतनी कैपेबिलिटी क्या मेरी बॉडी में.
That's what happens when once you enter or do anything for your own growth or enter this or decide to embrace this fitness lifestyle, you feel accomplished. You had no idea you could do this.
Exactly.
Like she was saying that I couldn't do a push-up and then people were saying, "Acha, you could do so much." I think that's the high which no other drug or alcohol or can beat when you know what you achieved or what you were. Because what happens is when you saw that trek or when she maybe saw that push-up, she thought that she won't be able to do it.
I never.
Once you did it,
It was like a
the
piece
feeling
of
of accomplishing that or getting over your fears is something which
सेल्फ
can't
एस्टीम भी
be.
बढ़ गई और खुद की नजरों में खुद ही इतना उठा हो गया मैं कि चलो अब क्या ही रोकेगा. और आपने भी जैसे लाइक यू वर नॉट एबल टू डू अ पुश अप, देन समहाउ
Yeah, and then you start exploring yourself कि ये कर लिया, अब हम क्या कर सकते हैं. और
इतना पोटेंशियल ह्यूमन बॉडी में
yeah,
लगता है कि
even when you're lifting, you lift so much. Oh wow, I can do more. This is easy. We keep hitting PRs.
right.
Why? Because we want to get better.
So,
That gives you a new high.
like how was the journey from being like how much, it's not about how much kgs you lost or how much weight you lost, but the amount of confidence and the amount of self-respect for yourself you gained. Like how was it, the journey, like how many years did it took you, and like how was the journey?
See, losing weight and getting one push-up or something did not take a lot of time, honestly. I started this journey by myself because being in a corporate job, I had to cook for myself. I had to clean my house because
You were on your own.
I was on my own in a different city, and it was just the beginning. So my salary was of course not that much, and
Survival mode.
yeah, survival zone. So I used to use the office gym late at the night after I got free from work, and all my information was through Google and Pinterest. That's it. I had no trainer. There was just this office trainer. I don't think he was that educated or that interested in training me that well.
Hope he's not watching.
So I hope so. Anyway, so I continued for a bit by my own, and then I was just crossing by a mall. I saw this board, 20-minute workout and be fit. So it was a huge tin box kind of place, and I just wanted to try it out once.
Right, the curiosity.
I was very nervous to even start that because I used to train on my own in my own space. जो भी possible होता था मेरे से, I used to move my body and see क्या होता है.
Get something done.
Get something done types. And then I started playing football. there I met a few friends who used to go to this tin box 20-minute workout.
What was it? 20-minute workout.
20-minute workout was the theme. The name was something else, of course. So it was a CrossFit box basically. And I went for a trial session. There I met a female instructor. She was very good. Not that she had the beautiful aesthetics and everything, but she had that aura of teaching, of transmitting knowledge, of giving knowledge. And she was very patient with me while even teaching the basic movements. I remember when I did a snatch the first time, I could not do a snatch with a bamboo pipe.
Wait, what is a snatch?
Snatch is a compound CrossFit movement wherein you use a bar and take it overhead.
When it's picked directly up without stopping anywhere.
Explosive, one of the explosive movements.
You see a lot of cricketers, Virat Kohli.
So I could not do it with a PVC or a bamboo pipe as well. But she was very patient. It took me 2 or 3 sessions to even get that movement right. So that's how I started. I found people who were supportive and who were ready to invest in my journey. That's what gave me more motivation to continue.
The right amount of ambience was created.
Exactly.
I mean, because I think I'll give credit to her coach there.
Yes.
For igniting that interest
Passion
in her.
and
you know,
interest.
like ये बहुत lacking है. I think we don't know the name of Virat Kohli's coach. Do we even know? I don't know. So Sachin ka coach, I don't know. Michael Phelps ka coach, we don't know. But they are what they are because of their coach. We all remember that one teacher in our school जिसने एक topic ना बड़े different तरीके से पढ़ाया था और वो आपको अभी तक याद रहता है. So I think that's the quality of coach to make that topic so interesting and easy for you to understand and generate that passion and interest in the student.
Like she said, transmitting knowledge. It should not feel like you're like taught something. The energies and the knowledge should be passed very
so there are people who will restrict the knowledge to themselves कि भैया ये मेरे से आगे निकल जाएगा मैं नहीं बताएंगे types. So there are a lot of people like that. I have went to a number of CrossFit boxes. I have this thing of
Hyderabad city.
Even in Hyderabad, but I have this thing whenever I travel, I do visit the CrossFit box over there. I will visit the gym over there.
Out of curiosity.
Out of curiosity. To explore how are the people, to know how do they train.
Yeah.
Just to like see the process.
Just to see.
Like what good can you get from there?
I can obviously take back some information back at my home, back to my people. You can do this better. You're not doing this right. That way. So I have this thing of exploring. So I've been to a lot of boxes, but I have met very few good coaches.
And again, going to that point, we don't know if Virat Kohli ever gonna be a good coach or will Sachin be a good coach. If you look, so a lot of times I think even in industry, what happens is that you will look at a coach and if he has a good physique, people will think he's also a good teacher.
Good teacher, right.
It doesn't work like that. Like,
teaching something and being good at something.
Just because you're good at it doesn't mean you will be a good coach. And I strongly believe if you are, especially when it comes to coaching or being a teacher in any field, irrespective of the fact it's fitness or whatever it is, अगर आपको लगता है कि मुझे ये करने मजा आता है और आप इसलिए वो सिखा रहे हो तो वो मत करो. Because सिखाना is a very different ball game altogether.
Right.
The amount of patience you need with other different kind of people and how simple can you make a complex thing and explain, it takes with a lot of experience and practice. And I think not every person who's interested in doing something should consider that coaching is easy or coaching to मैं कर लूँगा. And I think that is what's wrong in fitness industry.
Teaching as in whole मतलब बहुत dynamic मतलब
Absolutely.
अलग सी teaching as a profession.
That's why they say teacher is next to God.
Right.
I mean, because like I said, वो उनका एक relation अलग ही होता है.
Teacher like as in guru is somehow
you always remember, like I said, you always remember that guru, and I think that is one of the perks of being into fitness, that you can have a positive impact on someone's life. Sadly, again, most of the work even the job that I did for 10 years, she was doing a corporate job before. Most of the work that we guys are doing is sadly a thankless job.
Right.
Nobody's gonna. I was a transporter. Nobody told me Vineet क्या truck भरे तूने 10 साल. You know,
right.
Like आपने सामान क्या सामान बेचा आपने.
Right. Like
nobody gonna say you that.
That.
But at least in this work, when you have some, I think it adds meaning to what I do, and I think if I can have a change in someone's life, that's what makes it all worth it.
अलग तरह का इंटरेक्शन है इस कोचिंग फील्ड या टीचिंग फील्ड
Absolutely.
में कि लाइक यू गेट द इंस्टेंट फीडबैक और some later on feedback, but there is a lot of interaction going on a regular basis, and it's a give and take process also.
It's a responsible job. I think, like I said, as a coach, you can either really, like I said, start the interest in someone's life or journey in training, or can completely make it hated. Like, you know, it's up to the coach. वो कैसे सिखा रहा है, या तो आपको बहुत आप उसको इन्वाइट कर लोगे जर्नी को, या आप उस पर जाओगे नहीं, आजकल फिटनेस की बेकार है, जिम ट्रेनिंग बोरिंग है, या ये चीज़ बेकार है. सो आई थिंक टीचर प्लेज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल व्हेन इट कम्स टू कोचिंग स्पेशली.
Now that I think about it, I've met a lot of coaches. Okay, so there are basically I can majorly divide into 3 categories. एक तो कुछ नहीं कर सकते, ट्रेनर बन जाते हैं. एक बहुत कुछ कर रहे हैं, but they embrace the training. So they start doing it and then they eventually become a trainer.
They look up to that job maybe?
Yeah, like Vineet and my coach there. And third one जो हमेशा से ही करना चाहते हैं and they just educate themselves regarding this field.
From the beginning they
From the beginning they yeah. So I think the last 2 are much more better reliable than the first category. But yeah, that's
also
what,
as a coach now you have to sacrifice a lot for your clients' health
exactly
and well-being. तो कितनी बार ऐसा होता है कि you as a coach I have to give up my training or my sleep or my eating time just because it's my client comes first. So until unless you have that attitude that for you, your student, your client comes first, even if at the expense of your own sleep and food, only then decide to pursue it as a career. Most of the client trainers who are in this industry, they are doing it for themselves because they want to look good. They are more concerned about their training, their eating, their sleep. They are not concerned. For them, the client comes secondary. And when that happens, you can't be a good coach.
So, coming to you, your topic. Since the ये जवानी है दीवानी released, traveling और ये वाली चीज somehow hyped up. मतलब सबके Instagram bio में लिखा हुआ है love to travel, but somehow they are the people who love to like go on a vacationing and traveling. Go.
Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't think people began traveling after Ye Jawani Hai Diwani. Traveling has been a notion since forever, and people like to travel. Social media has just brought a platform for people to post their pictures, and you know, of course, if you see anything beautiful, you want to share it with the world.
100%.
So that is how people have come up with posting travel stories. Now, how is vacation different from traveling? Is vacation थोड़ा comfortable सा हो जाता है, and travel is more close to exploring a place's culture. वहाँ के लोगों को जानना, कुछ नए लोगों से मिलना. You're going out with your friends. आप बहुत कंफर्टेबल होके जा रहे हो, आप सब कुछ बुक करके जा रहे हो, आपका फ्लाइट्स बुक्ड है, आपका स्टे बुक्ड है, सब कंफर्टेबल है, हमको पता है आपको क्या करना है. You're following one fixed itinerary and you're not exploring anything
Not
new.
going with the flow, going with the itinerary and the chart.
Exactly.
Right.
आप जा रहे हो, आप प्लेस देखने जा रहे हो, आप फन करोगे, आप लेजर करोगे, आप वापस आ जाओगे. ठीक है. People need a break from their life.
Right.
So they go
It
for
is just for the need of it, for the
Yes.
sake of it. Vacationing is a thing.
yes.
Right.
Traveling is more of exploring the unexplored.
Right.
वो चीज़ें ढूंढना जो लोगों को पता नहीं है कि एग्जिस्ट भी करती हैं. So I started this when there's a lot of Goa people.
Right.
Goa बहुत ज़्यादा जाते हैं, and there is a lot of part of Goa which people have not seen.
Right.
So there was this post I came across. One of my office colleagues has posted. She had visited a place in Goa which was spice plantation and Dudhsagar waterfalls.
Right.
So Dudhsagar waterfalls got famous mostly after Chennai Express. पर फिर भी लोग वहाँ जाने में they're a little skeptic कि गोवा जाके दूधसागर
it's like 1 hour ride.
Yeah.
100 kilometers से कितना है?
It's a 1 hour drive.
हाँ, 1 hour drive.
गोवा जाके दूधसागर फॉल्स कौन जाएगा?
Right.
Why do you want to go to Goa and do a trek? But that trek is so wonderful, and I have this thing of jumping in the water whenever I see water. I jumped in with my phone. I had recently bought an iPhone XR. Luckily, my phone did not fall inside the water. I took a good swim. I came back. I asked my friend, "Where's my phone?" I was like, "I don't have it." It's like, "Oh shit, it's in the pocket." That's how excited I get when I travel. So travel is more about. I had never jumped in such a deep waterfall. So that's more about exploring. I could realize that I have the potential to do this jump.
Right.
And then it also gives you a adrenaline rush
Right.
to go to places that people have never seen. So you learn about cultures everywhere you go, and
Right.
everybody has very different culture.
Like I haven't traveled much, but I've been to like Coimbatore for like the yoga thing. That was my solo first trip. Coimbatore का experience made me realize कि if I am traveling to somewhere, the experience should come with me. मतलब मैं घर लेके आ सकूँ कुछ वहाँ से. Like जब मैं अभी कुछ लॉकडाउन के जस्ट पहले मैं दुबई गया था फैमिली ट्रिप पे. तो वो इट वाज अ ओके ट्रिप जो फैमिली ट्रिप होती है बेसिकली. यहाँ गए वहाँ गए बड़ी बिल्डिंग देखी बुर्ज खलीफा देखा ठीक है देख के आ गए फोटोज अच्छे क्लिक करके आ गए इंस्टाग्राम पे पप्पी बन गई. पर जो कोयम्बटूर था कोयम्बटूर में फोन ही बनता जो 7 दिन थे वहाँ पे बताने में ज्यादा मजा आता है.
Exactly.
तो वो जो मेमोरीज जो फोटोज है लाइक इफ आई क्लोज माय आईज इन दिस रूम राइट नाउ आई कुड बी इन कोयम्बटूर इन अ मोमेंट.
Because
मतलब
you lived that.
या दैट वो जो वहाँ पे रह के आया जो वहाँ जी के आया ना वो 1 मिनट में वहाँ पहुंच जाऊँ. तो मेरा ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस है कि मैं अब जहाँ जाऊँगा ट्रैवल करने वो जगह मैं अपने साथ अगर लेके आ पाऊँ तो मैं जाऊँ वरना आई डोंट थिंक वो मेरे लिए वो चीज़ है. दैट इज वन थिंग दैट आई वांट व्हेन आई ट्रैवल. वो मेरे लिए होगा कि हाँ भाई वो मैंने ट्रैवल किया वो जगह पे मैं वापस विजिट कर सकता हूँ घर आके. तो वो मेरे लिए मैं दुबई नहीं जा सक रहा हूँ आके बंद करके मैं कोयम्बटूर पहुंच जा रहा हूँ बहुत इजीली.
If you go to the upper north India में आपको इतना नेटवर्क ही नहीं मिलेगा. So I have this thing of spending around 2 weeks in Himachal every year. क्योंकि वहाँ पे इतना नेटवर्क कवरेज नहीं है. People are very down to earth. People have a very simple lifestyle. वो उनको Adidas, Puma ये सब नहीं पता.
There is no network but there is some strong connection. Bombs.
They are at peace with themselves.
हाँ.
There is a strange thing in Himachal, you know. आप कहीं भी ट्रैक करने जाओगे, even if you are a solo traveler, you will not be alone. From somewhere, a dog will appear and he will take you to the end.
Oh.
I have experienced this on all my treks. And there was nature is strange.
Let's name this dog Divine.
There's not one dog, no. Dogs are divine.
Shades of Divine.
So there's this one lake also in Jippi, Ceruloskar Lake. Now, the epic thing about that lake is if any particle of leaf or dust or these wooden sticks fall into the river, birds come and pick it up immediately.
Oh.
So that lake is clean throughout the year. So these are strange facts that you come across when you travel, and I travel for these facts to know these things.
Right. Your travel experience?
Yeah.
You love to travel. Are you a good traveler?
Extremely limited compared to
He followed
others.
me to
Right?
check.
Like compared to तो हम तो कुछ है ही नहीं ना.
For me, I mean, it's more about the journey than the travel. I think I really enjoy doing road trips. So rather than the place, it's about the distance traveled or the roads taken. That makes more sense to me. And if I travel now, I think if I like you decide like you want to go to a place which you can take back home. For me, it's about if I can learn something from there and come back.
Right.
So when I travel now, first is about the journey, and second, if I can learn something and come back. So yeah, I mean that's my traveling experience has been pretty limited.
Yeah. Right. The diet culture that is going on, like different diets, the vegan plant-based diet and the keto diet. Like, what's your take on it?
Like, first of all, I don't like to name diets. There is a reason behind it because I believe the problem with most of the people following diet plans is that they put too much pressure on self by saying that they are on diet. For example, they might say, "Oh, I'm on keto," or "I'm on fasting," or "I'm a vegan." So whenever they go out at a social gathering or wherever, वो अपना नाम पहले बाद में बताते हैं, वो ढिंडोरा पहले पीट देते हैं, मैं डाइट पे हूँ, मैं डाइट पे हूँ, मैं डाइट पे हूँ, मैं कीटो पे हूँ, मैं फास्टिंग कर रहा हूँ, मैं ये कर रहा हूँ. So
It's a label.
you put so much pressure on your own head by giving names to any particular diet that
food routine.
so I mean if you fail or if you just cheat, then you're like your friends will say तू तो बड़ा फास्टिंग कर रहा था, तू बहुत कीटो कर रहा था, क्या हुआ? So I tell people first of all, don't give it a name.
Right.
Don't think that you are following a diet. Think that you are eating what you are supposed to eat for reaching your true fitness potential. And never discuss your plans or your diet with your friends or family simply because you don't want that undue pressure
Absolutely.
on your own head.
Very important.
And so that's what I believe in. I mean, personally, I like to follow a low carb diet with fats and proteins. I try to have even if I'm having carbs, it would be unprocessed vegetables. I'll eat fruits. I'll have bread. I avoid all kind of processed food, be it breads or pastas, or they don't go well along with me, and I think I have better sources of energy. So I would rather go for good quality fat, good quality proteins, and I think that's what I like to promote. I think in the end, it's not just about losing weight; it's about being healthier and disease free. And I would rather want to have food which kind of makes me healthier.
Right. Like it's also about like it's a very personal thing. Like different diet works for different people. Everybody has their own body type and their own body condition and situation. And
Like I agree, but there are certain food which are bad for everyone. I mean, for example, if you and me both are smoking,
right,
doesn't mean दोनों को कैंसर होएगा. हो सकता है दोनों को हो सकता है आपको हो जाए, मुझे नहीं हो, मुझे हो जाए, आपको नहीं होता है, दोनों को हो जाए.
right.
It doesn't mean अगर आपको नहीं हो तो आप बोलो नहीं सब सही है, सब कुछ नहीं होता है. So there are certain food like sugars are bad for me. I can't like say that हाँ आप ले लो ठीक है, आपको चल जाएगा, just because आपको diabetes नहीं तो आप लो, इनको diabetes है तो आप मत लो. So there are certain food groups which you need to avoid, irrespective of the fact that they are like आप उसमें आपको कुछ प्रॉब्लम होगा या नहीं होगा. And again that boils down to your personal choice. Like for example, I think people need to be educated about what's good or bad for them so that they can make an informed decision. For example, in 1960s, लोगों को मालूम नहीं था कि cigarette smoking से कैंसर होता है.
It was not even
so
discovered.
Before 60s, they were smoking like this कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा है. But at least they can make an informed decision. You know that this causes cancer. If you are having it, it's your personal choice. You're an adult, you can make that choice for yourself. I think people just need to know that. The problem is right now, people don't know harmful effects of certain food. Like in my opinion, too much processed carbs is again the root cause of most of the modern illnesses that we have. And I think once we get rid of that, most of the diseases are gone. And
Processed carbs.
Processed carbs.
Like for example?
Like you have maida ho gaya, you have pasta, noodles, biscuits. They are very highly absorbed carbs. They quickly raise your blood sugar levels. Be it high corn fructose syrups, which you use in sauce. In everything sweet, they put that high corn fructose syrup, and I think that is extremely dangerous for your health. And vegetable oils.
The palm oil is in every fucking thing.
Right? I mean, I think like our ancestors used to say, "Ghee mein khana khao," but which made sense.
Now ghee is looked down upon.
And now the European culture is embracing it.
By the name of pasteurized butter, I think it's the
I think
कुछ तो नाम से वहाँ पे घी बिक रहा है और वहाँ पे वो भी मतलब
fancy name हो गया उसका.
Yeah, घी की क्या importance होती थी और अब it is looked down upon. एक चम्मच भी कोई बोलता कि like it's said that one spoon.
लोगों को taste ही नहीं develop होता है. आप अभी देखोगे कि छोटे बच्चे भी होते हैं, उन लोगों को एक तो प्रोटीन को लेके myths हैं.
हाँ, right.
उनको लगता है प्रोटीन खाने से किडनियों पे लोड आ जाता है. ये बहुत common misconception है. They will start talking about that's the number one doubt they have. I think first of all I would like to clear कि अगर आपकी किडनी हेल्दी है तो it is meant to digest whatever protein amount you're taking. A very common thing that people fail to do अपने आसपास देखते नहीं है. For example मैं किसी को बोलता हूँ, मुझे आके बंदा के बोलता है कि प्रोटीन खाने से किडनी पे लोड आता है, तो मैंने कहा चलो एक काम करते हैं, we will go and sit outside a nephrologist clinic and let's just see कितने बॉडी बिल्डर आके मिलते हैं उनसे. क्योंकि सबसे ज़्यादा प्रोटीन वही खा रहे हैं. अगर प्रोटीन was the root cause for your kidneys not functioning or damaging, तो सब बॉडी बिल्डर बैठे होते बाहर. ऐसा तो नहीं होता है. और on the contrary we go to a dialysis center and if somebody is on dialysis we'll ask them कितना प्रोटीन खाया था आपने. तो you will find out वो तो बेचारे अपना RDA जो recommended daily allowance है वो भी नहीं ले रहे थे.
Then to their
Then, but people don't, वो उनको common sense नहीं समझ में आया कि
एक conclusion पे हैं.
And on the other hand, जो लोग dialysis पे होंगे उसमें से 90% people will be diabetic. So वहाँ पे तो sugar levels को और kidney को आप relate करो, पर वो protein को कर देते हैं relate for no reason. And I think it's again लोगों को knowledge नहीं है उस बारे में. They are very much against protein powders. To me, the only reason to take protein powder would be convenience. अब मैं काम में हूँ, मैं क्लास ले रहा हूँ या ड्राइव कर रहा हूँ, मेरे को टाइम नहीं है बैठ के मील खाने का. As per convenience, I'm gonna have protein shake.
As per your body needs.
As per your need, आपको protein requirement हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा है, आपको it's all about convenience. Secondly, लोग ले ही रहे थे ना प्रोटीन. अब लोग बोलते हैं पाउडर्स नहीं लेंगे. अब बचपन से दे रहे थे. आपने बच्चों को सेरेलैक दिया, बॉर्नवीटा दिया, बूस्ट दिया, हालांकि दे वेरी हाई इन शुगर्स, पर आपने वो दिया उनको, तो आप वो भी तो दे रहे थे.
प्रोटीन के नाम पे तो बिकी है सब चीज.
प्रोटीन नहीं, वो आपने उनको न्यूट्रिशन के नाम पे दिया,
हेल्दी ड्रिंक.
हाँ, पर क्योंकि उस टाइम भी आप पाउडर्स दिए हैं, उसके अंदर भी होता है केसीन, वे प्रोटीन. Why not now? Bonvita has come up with its own
like Horlicks, women's protein.
I think I don't understand people. Again, अगर आपका बच्चा है और he will, आप उसको आराम से 3-4 स्लाइस पिज्जा के दे दोगे, आप उसको कोल्ड ड्रिंक पिला दोगे
without any doubt and without any hesitation.
4 रसगुल्ले खा लेगा, 5 और दोगे उसको. बट अगर वो 2 अंडे या तीसरा अंडा खा लेगा तो इतना प्रोटीन मत खा, किडनी खराब हो जाएगी. दैट इज सो स्टूपिड इन माय ओपिनियन कि इतना रिएक्शन,
अलग स्टिग्मा, अलग assumption और
like you don't need to demonize protein, you need proteins.
Right.
The problem is that we are having too much sugars in our daily diet which needs to be addressed.
Like the focus should be on some other thing like sugar and the carbs and shit, but somehow the protein is looked down upon.
Protein is demonized.
Right.
Yeah, which is beyond me.
Right. Coming to the I also like checked out your Instagram page. I come up to that 100-day challenge thing. So like tell me what it's about.
Yeah, so the idea came about this challenge in January. So the thing was
January like this January?
This January we decided. So the thing was like I mentioned in the interview before that I was, as a coach, I was finding it difficult to get myself in a routine because all the time was training, and like I think this is what happens with most of us. We are so much engrossed in our daily life and work that somewhere we don't get time or we can't prioritize our health.
Right.
And so I decided to give myself a deadline or a date. Till that point, I'll try to be my fittest self.
Achieve a certain goal.
Yes, to be like fitter than how much can I push myself in 100 days? Like
Right.
that was my goal. And so at the studio, we are a very close community, and I was discussing it with everyone at the studio, and they all said that we also want to participate. And surprisingly, we had people with different goals coming. Like for example, there's one person who wanted to, she was in depression and she wanted to get off her pills, and that was her goal. That by the end of the 100 days, I don't want to be on the pills. There was one person with sleeping disorder, and that person just wanted to sleep without pills. There was one person who wanted to quit smoking. For him, that was the goal for 100 days. So people had different goals for 100 days, but somehow people are only fascinated by weight loss, that how much weight you've lost. For me, 100-day challenge is way more than that. It's about imbibing or embracing that fitness lifestyle, to fall in love with fitness, and that's the end goal. That in those 100 days, I want to teach you all that I know. be it about kettlebells, be it about Olympic lifts, be it about CrossFit, TRX, Animal Flow. I want at the end of 100 days, it should become a part of your life. And weight loss will happen, but to me, that is not the only criteria to.
It's not about the before and after transformation
Absolutely not.
picture or post.
I mean,
on
this is
Instagram.
what you do just because people want to see that, and that is what sells. But
Right,
in the end, it is way more than that. It's like I said, it's about living healthier. And I think if one person in the family, like for example, it happens with me. So a lot of mothers that come at the studio and train, and they tell me that Vineet, after we finish training, our kids copy us. They'll take a small pipe and they'll start doing what we used to do. So I think if one person in the family starts following that lifestyle, the entire family starts following it.
Yeah.
And I think 100 days is that you just start your journey, and that is up to us to make sure that you enjoy it and you make it a part of your life.
Not just like doing it for the sake of it, like doing it very willingly and like making it a part of life. And like putting not your blood and sweat, heart into it, like putting your heart into it basically.
देखो दो चीज़ें होती हैं. आपने से बताया था आपने जिम गए, आपने 2 साल का फीस भरा और आप रेगुलर गए नहीं कभी. उसके पीछे 2 कारण होता है. पहला ये होता है आपको बड़ा बोरिंग लगा. सेकंड आपको चेंज नहीं आया. और यही 2 चीज़ें आई ट्राई टू चेंज. फॉर मी नंबर 1 वाज कि मुझे क्या अच्छा लगेगा.
If I would.
अगर ये कॉमन टेंडेंसी होती है ह्यूमंस की. फॉर एग्जांपल इफ आई टेल देम व्हाई ऑफ थिंग्स दे विल लाइक इट. इफ आई टेल यू स्क्वाट करने से ये होगा, आपको ये फायदे हैं, डेडलिफ्ट्स करने के आपको ये फायदे हैं, ये करेक्ट टेक्निक है, आप ऐसे करोगे, केटलबेल्स के ये फायदे हैं, आप ऐसे करोगे. इन द एंड यू फील अकम्प्लिश्ड, यू लर्न समथिंग, यू फील हैप्पियर. चेंज आता है, देन अगेन यू विल बी कंसिस्टेंट. सो ओनली इफ यू हैव फन you will be consistent, otherwise you won't be. And in fitness, consistency is the key, to achieve your goals. Otherwise you just gonna give up in between. And I think that's what I try to change. I mean, for me, for my clients, उनके लिए वर्कआउट ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि ये तो हमें करना पड़ेगा यार, वर्कआउट करना पड़ेगा. For them, मुझे करना है. So उनका पूरा routine is around the training thing. I mean, in the end, आपको इसको आगे ना पीछे, you'll have to give your health priority ना. In the end, even if you have all the money in the world, and what if you can't walk, or if you have pain in your body, if you know, then what will you do with that money?
Like, do you want some shit to go down and then start working out, or पहले ही जाग जाना है? It's all about.
या देखो, जब जाओगे जब सवेरा. अगर आपको रियलाइज हो गया है कि अब बॉडी मेरी डिग्रेड हो चुकी है, एटलीस्ट रियलाइजेशन, एंड देन यू स्टार्ट. You need to start somewhere now. Tomorrow you're older than today. So today is the day when you need to start.
Also, like, how old are you? Like, you are like 30.
I'm 37.
And like, do you feel like you're 37?
No.
Like, it's just a big difference. Like, I am 27 and I don't feel like 27. Like, I feel like
No,
the energy.
I think we did discuss about this, that
Yeah.
biological age and chronological age
Right.
are 2 different things.
Right.
Like you might be, let's say, 40, but biologically you might be younger. They
Right.
were saying that Cristiano Ronaldo, I think, is biologically in his 20s. He is that fit. So I think this is the only biohack that you have, that is strength training. That is the only way you can fight the process of aging. There's no other way that you can stop that process or slow down. You can never stop that process, of course.
Right.
You can slow down that process is by lifting. Strength training is the only biohack that you have available with you. And I think people need to understand that, that start lifting weights. And it's absolutely safe. People have another misconception that once they start lifting, they are prone to injuries. Yes, you are prone to injuries. Of course, when you want to do any physical activity, you are prone to injuries. But साइकिलिंग में आपको इंजरी के चांसेस ज़्यादा हैं. फुटबॉल खेलने में आपको इंजरी के चांसेस ज़्यादा हैं.
ज़्यादा है रोड पे.
लोगों का जॉइंट पुल हो जाता है, लोग गिर जाते हैं, एक्सीडेंट हो जाता है, खड्डा हो गया, गिर गए, उसमें आपको ज़्यादा इंजरी होगा. लिफ्टिंग में नहीं होगा. आई कैन गारंटी यू, अगर हम 40 लोगों को फुटबॉल खेल ले गए ना, उसमें 10 इंजर हो जाएंगे. किसी का एंकल मुड़ जाएगा, किसी का नी मुड़ जाएगा, किसी का ग्रॉइन पुल हो जाएगा, हिप पुल हो जाएगा, कुछ ना कुछ पुल हो जाएगा. बट लिफ्टिंग में ऐसा नहीं होएगा. बट 100% injury नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. I mean, as a coach, we can teach you the best way to lift, the correct technique, the correct breathing, everything we can teach you. We can't lift for you.
Right.
So if at the end you do get injured, I mean, you need to understand it's a part of the process. Like, if suppose Virat Kohli get injured while hitting a shot. You can't blame his coach for it. It's like there are certain things which are out of their hands.
Right.
So lifting is absolutely safe. It's for any age group. The oldest client I have is 60-year-old. The youngest I have is 12-year-old, and they both lift the same lifts. So I think it's for each and everyone. Like lifting should be made. I think in schools, in US and in Western countries, they have gymnasium sessions where they make kids lift, small kids. And I strongly feel it should be made compulsory in schools as well. Like gymnasium and strength training should be introduced. in
school
schools.
में PT हो रही है.
And there's this notion also, Hindu households especially, that girls should not lift weight.
Right. They are not even like considered
Society.
to be like, वो imagine नहीं
And
बनाना.
yeah, you go to any gym, you will not see a girl lifting heavy weights. And if you ask them why, the only reason is I start looking muscular.
They would like Bani J ka post, they would like worship her, but they would never want to. They would want to be like her, but they would
But
never
why?
put the effort to like be like her, or
That's
maybe like
only
go on the
because
journey.
people say so. Like,
Also
No,
किसी
I
को
think-
जाना भी है तो बहुत सारे pressure को रोक देते हैं.
They again have that image what they see online on Instagram
Exactly.
of other influencers. They need to understand most of them is not real. They
Exactly.
are anabolically enhanced. They are edited. They don't look like that. Naturally, you don't have that hormone which make you look that muscular. And building muscle is a very slow process.
Very
You won't build muscles overnight, and you will get toned, yes. You will get in shape, yes. Bulk up, no. You can't do that naturally. Lifting has enormous benefits, especially for females. I am in complete 100% favor of women lifting simply because it's more important for them to lift. For men, till 60s, we are okay. हम लोग खिंच जाते हैं वहाँ तक. हमें
Till
body में
60s.
इतना change नहीं आता है. Women, their body goes through so many changes throughout their lives. Once they hit menopause, their body goes through havoc. And once they deliver, उनका bodies are never the same. They've actually literally given a part of themselves away. So for them, to strength train is way more important. If you look at their bone densities, if you look at arthritis, it's more in females. And the only way you can increase your bone density is with strength training, with external load. So people need to understand that it's absolutely safe for females to lift. I don't know why people think that when they start lifting too heavy, the periods won't be on time, or they won't be able to conceive. Uterus यहाँ से वहाँ हो जाएगा. I don't know why.
When I started my journey, I was actually going through PCOD. I did not have regular periods, and lifting has only helped me regularize my schedule.
Take
So-
notes, ladies.
Exactly. Lifting is very important. It has literally changed my life. They say that when you go and buy grocery, you will not be able to lift heavy. There are so many things now you have to do in a regular life. We did not know that the pandemic is going to come, and it just struck. We had to do a lot of chores, household chores by ourselves. And people could manage if they were fit. They could manage it easily. Cleaning the house, cooking. Women have a lot of strength. Even if they don't train, they have a lot of strength. You see your mothers every day. They are like machines running from morning to evening. So they have that inner power to bring it out, and strength training just gives their body more power to be well at a later age.
Right. Like throw some light on like how like you're talking about the PCOS thing. Like throw some more light on it.
So
Like, I think this problem has become really common. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we discussed this before when Vineet said that gaining weight is not only because you eat so much.
Yeah.
Because I remember my diet has always been very low.
Yeah.
Like I used to
The
eat
food intake.
my food intake has always been very low. So it was always around 1,000 and 1,100 calories,
You
which
eat the regular 3 meals of the day. Way less.
even lesser than that, I would say. I used to eat very little portions, but still I gained weight. That was not because of my calorie intake. It was more because my body was in stress and I was going through PCOD. But I did not get to know. I was not educated about it. I did go to the gyms. My family never supported gyms actually. But even if I went to a regular gym, the trainer would not want would not suggest me to go for a blood test.
Hmm.
Nobody does.
Right.
You go to any gym. Now, when I came to Fit Republic, the first thing that Vineet suggests to any client is go and get a blood test.
Blood test, okay.
Because you need to know what is going on internally in your
Right.
body. So that is very important, and that is the best part, I think.
I mean, like I said, ना पता नहीं चलता कोई client आता है जिसका अब बताया diabetic निकला नहीं पता लगा
उसको
Fatty
नहीं
liver,
पता।
fatty
नहीं
liver
पता
is
था
a
fatty liver था
is a
नहीं
very
पता था
common
kidney
problem.
functioning सही नहीं थी नहीं पता लगा. So for me, most important thing is to get healthier first.
हमारे जिम में वो बीज क्या होता है जो बॉडी
Body combustion analysis.
वो होता है जिम में जाते हैं तो एक पेपर निकल के
It's not accurate ना. For
हाँ.
example, अगर आप वहाँ पे आप मशीन पे चढ़ते हो,
हाँ.
एक तो आप बोलोगे हाँ वो पौड़े खड़े जाते हो, आपको उसने लिखा फीट करा गौरव, एज 26, आप चढ़े, उसने एक XYZ नंबर दिया. अब मैंने सब कुछ सेम रखा, मैंने गौरव कर दिया गौरी और आपको खड़ा करा. आदमी सेम चढ़ा है, machine का कैलकुलेशन चेंज हो जाएगा. It also depends on your hydration levels, because what happens is it actually puts an electric impulse. And
That's it.
how fast it goes out or how slow it goes out, on that basis it calculates.
It's not
your-
even that accurate.
It's not.
but
It's,
yeah.
I think, in my opinion, again, it's a marketing gimmick. If you
हाँ.
want an accurate measure of your body fat percentage, go for a DEXA scan. But again, most of us don't need it. What you need, first of all, is how you feel. If you feel good, if you feel happy, if you
Exactly.
feel energized, that's the most important criteria. How your clothes fit, how's your mood. Those are important criteria. Then I don't know my body fat percentage. I never calculated it because it doesn't matter. It's just what matters to me. Am I feeling strong enough? Am I feeling happy what I'm doing?
Like how do you wake up in the morning, the mood, the whole energy like,
Absolutely.
throughout the day, how do you feel? Like I also like after every meal I also feel very tired. Food should be as a fuel, मतलब मेरे को energy देना चाहिए. Like I feel fucking low after like having a meal. Don't like really know what's going on in the body. Like पता ही नहीं चलता है कि हो क्या रहा है. पूरा दिन इतनी tiredness just बहुत जंग लड़के हैं. Most ये
Again, that
common
is
problem है.
because again, like I said, most of us are having sugars all the day, throughout the day. So you have a yo-yo effect. That suddenly you'll have food, you'll have insulin spike, blood sugar levels goes up, and suddenly you'll have energy, and suddenly you'll feel a drop. And then again you need to give that energy and the drop. So once you have a sustained energy, which is like, for example, if you have good quality fats and processed carb, then you have a sustained energy throughout the day.
Like when I like started yoga और meditation से ये change आया था कि like I kinda like my body used to speak to me. मतलब ऐसे पता चलता था कि कुछ भी खा रहा हूँ तो पता चलता था कि yeah, this is needed, this is not needed. वो एक conversation और एक हो गया था body के हिसाब से. Yeah, वो awareness आ गई थी, conscious behavior आ गया था कि हाँ ठीक है, snacking की इच्छा होती भी नहीं थी. वो 3 मील चलते थे.
Again, just because like you said ना कि एक बंदा या तो डाइट कर पाता है या वर्कआउट दोनों, बल्कि आई थिंक दोनों होता है. अगर मैं सुबह उठ के आई एम पुटिंग एन आवर इन मी एंड आई एम ट्रेनिंग, subconsciously I am careful about what I'm eating.
Right.
Yeah.
If I'm not training, I'll be like अच्छा छोड़ना आज तो
जिस दिन जिम मिस हो गया उस दिन डाइट की भी
हाँ,
मान.
पर इसलिए दोनों goes hand in
Hand
hand.
in hand. I would like to ask some questions, both of you individually. So let's flip a toss. Flip a coin and let's start with Vineet. So here's some questions, not so personal but full of fitness and fire. Let's start. So what's that must quality you like would want in a client?
Consistency.
Explain yourself in 3 words. 2 good, 1 begar.
Stubborn,
So bad one.
hardworking, and perfectionist.
What would have been your alternate career choice if not this studio?
If not the studio, then I would musician.
A celebrity or a public figure you look up to as your inspiration?
Warren Buffett.
Okay, right. Which movie character do you relate to? और अगर आपको choice देते कि आप इस movie में इस character में cast होते, what would you like, go for?
Gerard Butler from Machine Gun Preacher.
Anything from Bollywood for our audience?
Any movie by Irfan Khan.
Huh?
Any movie by Irfan
Irfan
Khan.
Khan, right. Okay. If you were to write your own autobiography, what would you name it? Like the book.
Life is what you make it.
Nice. If not Indore, where would you like to settle?
Sorry?
If not Indore, where would you like to settle? Not this studio, just in general.
Anywhere in the hills.
If you were a food dish, what would you be?
More musala.
What is this? मतलब ये क्या है?
It's like chicken stuffed with keema.
Oof. If you were to meet a person dead or alive for like 24 hours, like if you were to like give them a spend time like 24 hours, dead or alive, who would
Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln.
Oh. Lincoln Saab. A snack that you enjoy guilt-free or your guilty pleasure.
It's not a snack, but if I have to pick an item which I absolutely love, would be chola bhatura.
One question or 3 questions or number of questions you have fed up answering as a nutritionist.
प्रोटीन खाने से किडनी खराब होता है क्या? नहीं होता अंडे या कोलेस्ट्रॉल बहुत है इसके अंदर, कोलेस्ट्रॉल खाना चाहिए कि नहीं? थर्ड क्वेश्चन वुड बी आर प्रोटीन शेक गुड फॉर मी और नॉट?
3 tips for anyone that is not like who is just like taking the first step. How to start? 3 tips.
Just
Quick
show
tips.
up, be consistent, trust the process, and find a good mentor.
Right. If given choice, hardest to give up. Working out, food, vacation. Hardest to give up.
Working out.
Take it. If given a choice, richest or smartest in the room.
Smartest.
Okay. If given a choice, jump for 1 year or no workout for 3 years.
Junk for a year or no workout for 3 years? None.
Like if you were to like make a choice.
If I had to pick, I would say no workout for 3 years.
Right. Okay, and scene. That was your quick fire round. So, in the quick fire round, we have Rupal Vadera with us. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Brace yourself. Easiest way to piss you off. Quick. Quick.
Putting her on the spot.
Did I just?
Yes.
One dream place that you would love to travel with your friends or solo?
One dream place.
Yeah.
I want to go to Everest.
Everest. No friends, solo trip. Bye bye. One thing you love yourself. Love yourself about love. One thing you love about yourself.
I am very dedicated and hardworking.
Okay. Rate yourself as a person, honestly, on the scale of 1 to 10.
8.
Ha! Pretty high. Would you date yourself? Think and answer.
100%.
Would you date yourself?
Yeah.
सोच लो एक बार और.
क्यों क्या सोचना है इसमें?
Like the person you will be dating will have same notions as you.
Characteristics as me.
ठीक है. One weird habit or guilty pleasure. Desserts other than dessert.
Coffee.
ठीक है. अच्छी नहीं लगी आपको?
Cappuccino. Guilty pleasure is
बहुत गालियाँ
cappuccino.
गिरी मैं Starbucks को अभी. Favorite movie characters of all time or a character you would like to be as a cast?
Do you want Bollywood
Yeah, sure.
or Hollywood channel?
चलेगा.
So
बोलो
I
Anna Hathaway तो फिर.
no, I've really liked Emma Watson always.
Any special character or a movie? In
Harry
general.
Potter.
Harry Potter. नहीं?
Yeah.
Okay. What's that one quality your guy should have?
Respecting inferiors.
One quality of Vineet sir that you wish you would have, like you could steal from him.
Patience.
One thing you would want to overcome in life.
Anxiety.
Easiest to give up. Pay attention. Travel, food, or working out.
Easiest.
To give up. You give up food and you will travel and work out and don't eat. Best advice you have ever taken or gotten?
Best.
Advice you have ever received?
Have patience. Go slow.
So वहीं आ जा रहा है क्या हो रहा है? What's the first thing you notice in a guy?
First thing I notice in a guy,
Like how is it?
shoes.
Huh? This or that quickly. Smartest in the room or richest in the room?
Smartest.
Food or sleep?
Food.
Win a lottery or find a soulmate?
Find a soulmate.
That's a lottery. Congratulations. Lose your eyesight or memory?
Memory.
Last but not the least, describe life in one word.
Adventure.
And we're done with your fit fire round. एक क्वेश्चन है जो मेरे को वो करना है, मतलब कॉमनली ये जवाब देना था कि बोलते हैं ना आपका स्पिरिट एनिमल ये है, स्पिरिट एनिमल वो है. Like, do you relate to some animal और ऐसा लगता है कि not physically or looking wise, but somehow वो कोई animal है. जैसे for me it's monkey, क्योंकि मैंने कहीं ऐसा मैंने वर्ड प्ले मेरे दिमाग में ही कर लिया.
सही लग रहा है मुझे.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
है ना? तो it's kind of monkey. Like monkey is so close to being human. मतलब एक step और human. इतना close हूँ मैं human बनने के. अरे human का next step divine. अगला step भगवान है मेरा. और somehow हाँ, like we are like the monkey evolve हुआ और human being बना. और somehow the monkey का जो first 4 initial letters है वो monk है. तो somehow internally I am that वो है मेरे अंदर.
You should start yoga again.
Yeah, very soon. तो वो मेरे लिए it's monkey और like being around मतलब अपनी मस्ती में मस्त और ठीक है. Evolve मतलब बस ready to be enlightened. For you?
I recently read an Instagram post that liberals का spirit animal is panda. I actually could relate to it really well.
I'm so clueless what I am.
Look something.
हाँ but ऐसे अजीब सा क्वेश्चन है, कौन पूछता है ऐसे?
I think you're close to a wolf.
Wolf.
Yeah. Like you always like to be
Shikari.
the leader of the pack.
Leader of the pack भी और perfectionist भी.
And
People who are wondering who are we talking to, you'll see on the further episodes. Thank you so much. They are not even in their senses कि कैमरा भी चालू है. नहीं ठीक है भैया चलने दो. अब तो लॉन्ग हो गया है सिचुएशन. Wrapping this thing up with like what's the future vision? Like do you like think like where I want to be in 5 years, or like do you go one day at a time, or like what is the goal? Like up somehow you are at a stage in your life that you could like have a future vision.
So you've always believed that you propose and God dispose. So studio was never a plan. All the things I think in life that happened were never planned. So I don't really have a concrete plan. Of course, I mean you want to grow in life, and I mean I want to make studio bigger. I have a vision to change the way people look at fitness and the way people look at strength training. Of course, I want to make it more fun. I want fitness to go to kids, and maybe hopefully one day they will include this as a curriculum in schools where they will teach kids how to strength train. And I think most of the problems in their later life will go away if they get the discipline and and I think just taking fitness to masses is my long-term vision when it comes to.
That is the greatest education that could add up in that.
Absolutely, I think it. In the end, if you a healthy mind, a healthy body is what's it's what's most important, and I think it needs its due, and people should realize the importance of it as soon as they can. I mean, earlier the better. I mean, that's what I feel. Whenever you want to start your journey, earlier the better.
For you,
I don't know.
any future? मेरे
I'm
को पता
not-
नहीं है,
but
मेरे को
I
भारी
don't
पड़ेगा.
know.
What's your vision? I don't know. Like I don't know has tremendous possibilities. Like this is the concept of Sadhguru
Okay, see,
that I have learned.
so the thing is, it is not possible for everything to work out the way you vision or the way you picturize it.
Right.
So far in my life, I have always believed in things falling in place. Whenever they want to, they will. So I cannot plan something for 5 years ahead.
हाँ.
I know for a fact I want to travel. I
But a
want to keep
vision.
traveling.
Yeah.
I want to keep being fit.
Right.
I want to continue this journey on exploring. But I don't know where will I be.
Yeah.
5.
Basically, like इसका नाम मैंने इसी उससे आया था. There is this video of Sadhguru, the spiritual master, on YouTube that like I have heard a lot of speeches and I truly like by heart follow him. तो उनका ये concept था कि I don't know has tremendous possibility. Like once somebody asks you कि भगवान होते कि नहीं, you either somehow will say yes or no. When you say I don't know, you open all of the gates. You open all of the possibilities that जो भी हो सकती थी. So I don't know has tremendous possibilities in that way, or somehow that this door should always be open. Like something that holds back people usually is assumptions and conclusions. Like if you make a conclusion on anything, that's when the growth stops. I don't know like opens the door, keeps you like एक free headed mind भी होता है, एक freedom रहता है आपके अंदर, और एक उस uncertainty में like you flow. Like if you would ask me कि like explain life in one word, it is fucking magical. क्या है ये जो सोलर सिस्टम में अर्थ ऐसे उड़ रहा है और फिर अपन भी अपने काम में कर रहे हैं. दिस मेक्स नो फकिंग सेंस. बस चले जा रहा है. बट समहाउ हमको वी आर सम इतनी ग्रेटफुलनेस भी है, इतने ब्लेस्ड भी हैं कि समहाउ कुछ करने को मिल गया है जीवन में. सर्वाइवल से हटके ड्रीम्स पूरे करने की औकात भी है. ऐसी फैमिली में पैदा हो गए हैं और सब कुछ कर भी पा रहे हैं, इतने एबल हैं. तो इससे ज़्यादा क्या ही मतलब चाहिए लाइफ में. सर्वाइवल था पहले कि हाँ कमाना है, खाना है, सोना है. अब उससे हटके सब चीज़ें कर रहे हैं. एक फ्रेश सेट ऑफ थॉट्स के साथ सुबह उठ रहे हैं, निकल रहे हैं, तो एक अलग ही लग्जरी में जी रहे हैं. और मेरे को लगता है कि ऑल दिस इज द ओनली वन थिंग वी कुड लाइक एम्ब्रेस और इज लाइक बीइंग ग्रेटफुल. मेरे बायो में मैंने लिख के रखा है, मुझे ये मंत्र है जीवन का कि इनहेल सब्र, एक्सहेल शुक्र. इनहेल like the patience, sabr, like the patience you should have at every step in life, and exhale shukr, like with every breath you like leave. शुक्राना like the gratefulness should be there in your head and in your life in at all. जाके देखेंगे तो there is a lot of suffering, but somehow we are somehow in our zone and in our place in our mind. So yeah, high note पे end करते हैं. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you for being on the show. It was lovely talking to you and like getting a part of your minds. Thank you, and
If there's one thing I know for